Now we're recording, so we are good to go. So welcome to UDL on Friday, March 14th. Thank you for being with me, and we will get started. We are talking about that multiple means of engagement, multiple means of representation, and multiple means of action and expression. We have covered several different things that you could be trying out with your students this year. So we started out with those vocabulary strategies. We had think and sort, the close method, the Freyer model. We talked about root words, prefixes, and suffixes. Rewordify.com. That was the website I showed you where you could like paste in some content and it would take the reading level down for your students. We talked about adding some nurture, joy, and play into lessons. And then our last session, which was 2 months ago, believe it or not, I showed you the AI tool, which was Notebook LM, where you could either put in an article or text or even a PowerPoint slide, right? Either Google Slides or um, uh, Microsoft presentation of PowerPoint. You could download that into Notebook LM and it would turn it into a podcast for you. So it could summarize it, it could create study guides, it could create an FAQ page on the content, and it also would generate an AI podcast. So before we move forward with today's new share, I wanted to see if any of you in the last 2 months have tried out any of these with your students. So if you would just unmute and share, or if you want to put it in chat, I would love to know what you've tried and how it has gone with your students.
I've been trying to get a little bit more into Notebook LM personally. I haven't done anything with students yet, just so I can kind of learn the platform. And something I've been doing a lot recently is like instructions, or if I'm going to be sending instructional emails, I'll type the level of detail that I think it needs to be, and then give it to like an AI platform and ask it to reduce it down so that way everything is still kind of there, but I get the detail I want with the conciseness. That's kind of a practice I've been doing.
Now, that's a great use of an AI tool and of thinking about making it manageable, right? Breaking it down into pieces. That's definitely a UDL tool. Very good. Anyone else? Give it just a little wait
Sorry, I
time.
was having some,
Go ahead.
sorry, I was having some trouble with my audio, so I apologize. If anybody mentioned this already, because I couldn't hear, but are you asking about tools that we have been using that maybe were like
Yes.
AI? So one thing I've used it a lot for is when we were trying to prepare our students for the web exams, and there were some difficult competencies that were difficult to kind of maybe make sure that they had covered as nice reviews. Am I not coming through?
No, we can hear you, Liz.
Oh, sorry. Okay. I would put it into AI and say, hey, create an activity that would help me to teach this competency. And they would, come up with some neat ideas. Or I need a 15 question multiple choice, quiz on these competencies that I was struggling to find a way to review. And it would sometimes spur other conversations, which was really helpful. And obviously it really reduced the workload on creating it. So that was a really cool way to help the kids review and get ready for these web exams, but didn't require like a ton of work on my behalf when we were doing something else. So it was, and it, like I said, then sometimes it would spur another idea for me of something else I could do that maybe I hadn't thought of. So it's just a nice, like really neat idea generator and creator for us, content creator.
Very good. I love hearing that you're using that as a way to help students study for web exams too. That's awesome. Very good. Anyone else? Oh, so Erin put in chat, That was something I tried as well. Downloaded the PDF of competencies for IT from DEW's website and loaded that into ChatGPT and asked it to generate quiz questions based on the material covered in the PDF. Absolutely. So if you can do that in ChatGPT, Notebook LM as well will create a quiz for you, so you can use that tool. Perfect. I'm just curious, when the ChatGPT creates a quiz for you, does it give you a situational question for that quiz like it would on web exam?
I would say probably not. I think you could ask it. I never specifically, next year, I think, or when I help, now that I'm like really focusing down and you can see how your kids did and which ones they did not do well on, I could do more like targeting of like, hey, these were your 6 competencies that were very difficult. And I could ask it because I will be honest, something anybody that uses that realizes sometimes it uses a really similar question, like, uh, formats and is like, oh, we know what this answer is because you've asked it the same way. Yes, you're addressing the competency, but it's a very similar type of question. So that's the one downfall. And that's something I could have explored more. I didn't do a ton of like, give me a more or ask it, like create a scenario that covers this. I didn't even ask it that. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Something that would make it more dynamic. It was a little rote. And I use Copilot, which I thought was nice because we already have that built into our 365 that the school pays for. So Copilot was pretty awesome and a lot, sometimes faster than ChatGPT for me. It just worked so easily.
So
Yeah,
it's called, go
I've
ahead,
been
Brian.
testing out. Yeah, I've been testing out a few different AI models, and Anthropic has one called Claude. I've been using that specifically because Claude, the way that it has been created around more like programming and technical stuff, it's really good at that. And so I asked it to give me situational questions, and it was pretty good. You would have thought that this AI robot was the one that was helping with some of the actual questions because it was. Well, and I also I fed it some sample questions, like ask questions like this. And when I did that, then it gave me other scenarios that were so applicable. And so I would play depending on the content area, different AI models are going to excel at different areas.
That is fantastic. I love that we are learning how to utilize AI for us, right? For us as educators. Still a little nervous about our students, but we'll get there, right? Fantastic. So I heard Claude, I heard Notebook LM, I heard Chat GPT, and then I know you guys said one more that was used that is actually something your district pays for. So I think Jennifer,
Copilot,
Copilot,
Microsoft
Copilot.
Cloud, yeah.
Magic School occasionally. Perfect. So this really wasn't what I planned on doing, but because we have talked so much about AI, I am going to share with you something that I just came across. So in my email this morning, I got this resource from Hanover, The Benefits and Implications of AI in Education. I have not read this, so I'm being very transparent that I have not read all through this, but it gave a list of other, and I had not heard of some of these. So, right, GPT-0, Question Well, Notion AI, some of these I had not heard of. So I will drop this in chat. Hopefully you can open it right up. But if not, you can email me and I will forward you the email from Hanover. So let me get that put in chat. Hopefully that will open up for you into this article of theirs. So just sharing some more of those additional resources. And the new find that I was going to share with you today that I had planned on sharing. So this one actually came to me from a UDL collaborative. And that UDL collaborative is Gotta remove everything here. Here we go. UDL Connections. So they send out a monthly newsletter. Let me take you to that so that you can see the newsletter. So every month UDL Connection sends out this newsletter. And what I like about this, I mean, it's specifically about UDL. They talk about the guidelines, right? So they're looking at consideration 4.1, varying and honoring methods of response for navigation and movement. And they're sharing with you a tool. So this is the typical layout and format of the newsletter every month, where they will share with you a UDL tool or resource. They talk about it. And then so Sherry actually used it. And Sherry is one of the people who writes for UDL. So engaged in reflection using Mirror Talk and found it quite interesting and beneficial. If you're curious to see my reflection summary, it's linked here. But basically, you log on to this Mirror Talk, and it greets you. It asks you a reflection question. Then it prompts you to give more detail, and then it summarizes and anticipates like what next steps could be. So I really thought this could be a resourceful tool for you, and I'll show you that tool in just a second. But I just wanted to show you some more things that are in this, right? So we get some reflection from students, right? Varying the way that they engage. There's some other UDL things coming up that they always share out what those are. So the Ohio Educational Technology Conference, which was in February, I always mean to go to that and never do, but it had some really good stuff as well. And if you like this newsletter, if you have been kind of enjoying just dabbling a little with UDL the way that we have this year, you might want to sign up for this newsletter. And all that you have to do is click on this link right here. You get signed up, and every month they will send you this newsletter. They also have archived all the previous newsletters so that you could go through those. If you were looking for something maybe specific to get an idea, you could use that link to see what they have covered in the past. Again, I'm going to put this in chat, and hopefully that will just open right up for you. Okay. So there's the s'more. And then if we go back just to look at Mirror Talk, so Mirror Talk would be that multiple means of action and expression. And the way that I liked the idea of Mirror Talk is, often we ask our students to reflect, and we have them do that on paper and pencil, or you guys might have them type out a reflection piece. I know there's some online, I'm working with Skyway Career Prep Academy, and they're using all online curriculum, but like every unit has the student reflect by typing out a journal entry. This might be something where you could have them practice on Mirror Talk to help them get better responses in those reflections. So if we go to Mirror Talk, just going to open that up, unless it's going to take me back to that s'more. Nope. So if you go to Mirror Talk, and you can just log in. Hopefully I saved my login. There we go. So I did this. It tries to, like, it gets your picture when you first come on, and it gives you then ideas on how you can, like, I talked about when I'm giving presentations, and then it gives me what I could do. My concrete next step would be to gather feedback from practitioners. So it's giving suggestions to you, the user, on what you could do next. So I wanted to try with you, and I'm not going to promise that this will work, but I created a group one. So I'm going to put this in chat, and it should ask you to reflect on your learning this year, and then generate a summary for me to see on your guys' reflection as my class. Never done this before, so you're my guinea pig group, but I thought we would try out Mirror Talk and see what that looks like if we use it for our students. So if you could just click on that link for me and take 3 minutes to practice that, and then I'll see what it looks like in my setting. So we're going to wait 3 minutes. You guys go ahead and do what you need to do to answer those questions.
I don't know if anybody else is getting this, but it's asking me to sign in. Should that not happen? Like you said, you can go with Google, Apple ID, or SSO. And I
Try
can try it. Let's
signing
go
in
with
with
Google.
try signing in with your Google if you don't mind.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I signed in with my Google and it asked me my name and then it came up to the Lisa Height OHVA UDL FY.
Yeah, me too, but there's no questions.
There's no question there. Well, just try to like, does it let you interact at all? So if my question to you is, what's your reflection thinking about how UDL has impacted your teaching this year or your thinking about learning this year?
There's a section that says all activities, but there's nothing there. Like there's
Nothing.
no.
Okay, well, I need to play around with that a little bit more then. And I would encourage you to do the same. I think this could be a really good reflective tool, but I guess I don't know how to do it with a large group yet. So I'm just showing you what I have on my screen right here. Maybe I needed to start something.
Yes, I have 0 assignments for it.
So I must need to add in a class, which might be easier for you guys to do since you have your student emails. So I guess that's the further we'll get with it today, but I wanted to share that with you because I think it could be a good tool for students. Just if you're seeing that they are struggling with giving you more than a sentence reflection, this might be a good way to use this with them even to prompt them to think a little deeper, because that's what it did with me when I did it individually. So I would encourage you to play around with this tool a little when you have some free time. It's Mirror Talk and it is live linked for you in this section here. If you just click on that link when you have some free time and play around with it and just see what you think. But it definitely would fall into that area of multiple means of action and expression. Just giving your students a different way to respond using different resources other than typing or pen and pencil, because you just talk to the computer. All right, well, moving us forward, because really the meat and potatoes of today is to give you time in small groups to do those breakout room activities. And we do have 18 of you, so maybe I'll do 5 breakout rooms and let me get those started. Remember, hopefully you've brought something to share and we're going to use this critical friends process. You don't necessarily need to follow the minutes that are assigned, but we do want, one person to share what that lesson is. Let the team maybe ask some questions and then let the team give you some ideas of different things that you could do. If you need to use that UDL framework, go look at the framework to give more suggestions. But it's just making sure that we're thinking about where you as a learner might struggle and then what we could do differently to add some things in to remove that barrier. So let me get those breakout rooms going. We'll do 5 breakout rooms. It's going to put about 3 or 4 of you in a room together and we will come back. So my computer says it is 10:20. We'll come back about 10:45, 10:50. I'll pull you back in. I'm going to try to jump into some of your breakout rooms just to listen in, but hopefully you get enough time that at least 2 of you can share out and get some feedback from the others on ways that you can UDLize the lesson, maybe something that you have even coming up within the next week or 2. So your rooms should be open and you should be able to join into those rooms. All right, and just thinking about your breakout rooms and maybe some discussions, did anybody have any ahas, oh my moments in your groups?
Well, Lisa, you were in our room for a big chunk of it, so I'll just kind of share what we talked about. I have an assignment that I do, and really the assignment, to be honest, kind of just started out like as a filler during the first couple weeks of school, you know, as we're bringing in our cohorts and stuff. So this assignment just started out as a filler, but through discussion with Lisa and Suzanne, I think I'm gonna kind of carry the assignment out over the whole school year and like keep kind of like circling back to it as a way to kind of engage the kids a little bit more and get them like more in that like real world thinking about how, you know, upon graduation and upon getting that first job and trying to save money to make some other the assignment circled around like their bucket list. So just kind of circling back to that as we learn each piece of finance and, you know, the savings, the investing, and circling back to like making that bucket list come a reality. So Lisa gave me the great idea of to just kind of keep circling back to the beginning assignment. And I love that. It was great information and a great idea.
Anyone else? Thank you, Elizabeth, for sharing that.
I've got one, and I'm going to end with a request for somebody, if there's anybody to help me with this. I've been trying to use that program that creates songs out of text to come up with a review situation, and I'm not loving it. It's just not working. Is there any other resources out there that do basically the same thing, but maybe a little differently, maybe a little better?
So I was actually just with Toledo Public a week ago, Toledo Public Career Tech, and one of their people shared with me a new song maker one. Oh, shoot. I thought I had it written down. I don't have it. Has anyone else came across one? So are you having, is it the lyrics themselves that aren't good, or what part of it don't you like?
Well, the music has not been very catchy, to be honest. And if I'm going to be using it for a review thing, I need it to be catchy. I mean, that's the whole point. Otherwise, I just, make them do it rote.
Let me, um, just trying to go through my stuff quick to see if I have it in notes anywhere, just with the book bag I have with me. So I don't have it, but I am going to write down to find that and get that sent to you guys because it was a free one as well.
Okay, cool.
So I will get that from TPS because I'm with them again, I think the first week of April. And I will find out what that was. Okay, I wrote that note down. I will make sure that I get that to you guys. Probably not until April 5th or 6th, because I think I meet with them on April 2nd. Anyone else? Any ahas and oh my's? Well, then I'm going to bring out an idea that was, kind of talked about in our breakout room, was that sometimes it seems like the students just really don't know how to use the technology. They don't know maybe how to turn in assignments on the platform that you guys are using. Have any of you came up with like a barrier remover for that? Have you created like step-by-step directions or a video tutorial, anything that helps students to be able to better access your learning platform?
I find making step-by-step recordings beneficial. And I think if I can do one of those AIs that turn it into notes and screenshots, that might also help.
Perfect. And someone said that in the chat too, screenshots all the way. Scribe would be a good resource for that. Great suggestion. All right. Well, thank you guys. Thanks for sharing out some of those ideas. I just want to make sure before you leave me, if you could take some time. This is our last session, so as far as I know, I won't be back with you unless Lauren would decide that you guys would like to have more sessions next year, just to continue this work. I'm going to put this in the chat. It's just a quick feedback personally for me, but my secretary next week will be sending out a little bit more in depth, not a lot more. It only has like 6 questions that she'll send out, and then she'll get you your contact hours. So if you could take some time before you log off to fill out that feedback form for me, I really would appreciate it. I really appreciate the time that you've taken to spend with me this year and sharing of your ideas, sharing of your questions. You guys are a great group, and I love what OHVA has to offer for students in the realm of career tech education. I think it is just a wonderful option for students. So I am always here to support you. Feel free to reach out at any time, and I definitely will get back with you guys. I'll get an email sent to you through Lauren to get you the other song maker, and maybe that will be a good resource for you as well. But I appreciate your time, and with that, I will let you head off. But if you could please fill out that feedback form for me, I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have a great Friday, and hopefully you have some sunshine.